Namaste, it's Renee, and aloha, coming from Hawaii. Today, let's hear, welcome to my podcast for one. And then also today, I want to talk about essential oils. This is a kind of a controversial subject for me. And it's tough. It's really hard to talk about because I know that a lot of people right now are super excited about essential oils, and I don't want to crush anybody's excitement for any kind of alternative medicine or taking care of your body and so on, or even some self-care. I'm all about self-care. I am an aromatherapist. 15 years ago, right after my esthetician, I became an esthetician. And right after becoming an esthetician, I discovered a master herbalist program through the same school that I became an esthetician. And through that schooling, I was like, great, I'm an esthetician. If I become a master herbalist, I can make my own skincare line. And with aromatherapy especially, I can use that in my practice as an esthetician, right? I was really excited. I learned a lot, and I was really excited to share that knowledge with people. Anytime you learn something new that can be amazing, you can't wait to share with other people. Ooh, I have some people joining in. Hi, guys. And anyway, though my training kind of threw me for a little bit of a loop, because in my training, it was really quite amazing. I want to use the word amazing because I want to be as positive as possible, right? But it was maybe even overwhelming how much my training involved actually safety. A lot of people can read about the benefits of essential oils and get that, like peppermint and rosemary is great for my respiratory, even maybe my nerves and anxiety, right? We can get that part. So learning to be an aromatherapist through a certified program, the majority of learning to be an aromatherapist was the safety and the proper use of essential oils, basically. And that it comes with a certain sense of responsibility. There's a responsibility when you're telling somebody, hey, use this essential oil for this ailment. There's a big part of there's some responsibility there. Suggesting something to somebody because you have no idea whether they're allergic to it. Even you don't know their heart rate, their heart condition. A lot of essential oils can even affect your circulation and your heart rate. So those are just examples. I can't, in this quick podcast, tell you everything that I learned in my aromatherapy certification program, but I just want to state that I am certified and educated on it beyond somebody just promoting the use of essential oils and telling everybody in the world, these are amazing, you got to use this today, with very little caution or thought put into it. Back in the day, aromatherapy was only practiced by professionals and suggested. And you use the aromatherapy under instruction and care of a professional. Some of these professionals even higher ranking than just my certification. I'm a master herbalist, so it's a big picture of multiple studies within it. So I am not an aromatherapist that has done level 1, 2, 3, 4 and become an advanced aromatherapist. But the amount of aromatherapy training I have is enough to tell me I should be careful. For one, I'm going to just throw it out there right away. Do not ingest them. No. Do not ingest them. Maybe if it specifically says it's food grade on the label, and maybe it's for culinary uses. But at that aspect, you're using it kind of like putting vanilla in your cookies. That's even what they mean by it being food grade. They're not saying tip your head back and put a dot in your mouth. No. Food grade essential oils or extracts are for making cookies, okay? Or something similar to that. And let's just go ahead and close that subject because that's all I'm going to say about that. There's nothing to argue about with it. Putting that in your body. Did you know that essential oils can eat through a plastic container? All essential oils are sold and bottled in glass. If you put a couple drops, do that little experiment for me. Put a couple drops of essential oil in plastic and leave it for a couple hours, maybe even overnight, and then the next day Report back to me what you see. The essential oil will more than likely eat through the plastic. Yes, just sit on that. Think about that for a moment. Try this example if you don't believe me. And so, tipping your head back and putting a drop in your mouth, are you crazy? Even putting it encapsulated in, people tell you to put it encapsulated in a little capsule and then swallow it like swallowing a pill. That capsule's dissolving and then it's in your stomach. And once it's in your stomach, it's just like being in that plastic container. All right, anyways, let's move on. So aromatherapy is kind of the traditional way that essential oils were always addressed. So let's even just look at the word aromatherapy. Aroma, right? Aroma means smell, scent. It's in the air. Aromatherapy was originally used to work with the olfactory system. So your olfactory system is your nose and your sinus cavities. Ooh, I actually have a full description of this. So the olfactory system is the bodily structures that serve the sense of smell. The system consists of the nose and the nasal cavities, which in their upper parts support the olfactory mucous membrane for perception of smell, and in their lower parts act as respiratory passages. So respiratory passages are lungs, right? And also adding to it, inhaling essential oils stimulates the olfactory system. So again, your sinuses stimulates the olfactory system and the part of the brain connected to smell. Okay, so it's coming in through your nose, your sinuses, even down into the respiratory a little bit, but it's the also stimulating your brain that is the connection to smell. So as the molecules reach the brain, they affect the limbic system, which is linked to emotions, heart rate, blood pressure, breathing, memory, stress, and hormone balance. Okay, so within that, it is definitely specifically saying aromatherapy. You're using the olfactory system, which includes your respiratory. And that is linking to your brain, up here, brain. And then it is relating to that smell, is then relating to the various parts of your body that might benefit from that aromatherapy. So there's definitely no need to be ingesting it. And nothing in that description even suggests that you put it on your skin topically. Yes, even putting it on your skin topically. Now, I'm not opposed to using a little bit of essential oil here and there for scent and, natural perfumes. That is a way, because wearing it as a perfume, maybe spritzing it on your shirt or something like that, so that you're smelling it all day long and it calms you down. That is the reason why aromatherapy was ever used topically, was so that you're still smelling it. It can have some benefits to your skin. Your skin, by the way, if you don't know, if you haven't listened to my other podcasts, the skin is the largest organ of the body, and it does absorb things that we put on it. So potentially some essential oils can have some beneficial for the skin, but we're talking very, very diluted and minimal amounts of essential oils. You don't want to put essential oils on your body neat. Neat means unmixed, so it doesn't have a spreader with it. Why am I throwing a loop on the correct term for this? Something that dilutes it. Even if you drink alcohol or you partake in adult beverages, if you've ever heard of somebody drinking scotch neat or whiskey neat, they're drinking scotch and whiskey or even vodka without any mixer. There's usually not even an ice cube in it, right? They're drinking it neat. They're just sipping on basically a shot, but they're getting it in a glass and it's neat and they're just sipping on it. So it's not mixed with anything. So think of that with essential oils. Essential oils aren't meant to be used neat. Neat would be shaking it on your hand directly out of the bottle and then putting it on your body. Not meant for that. It's way too strong, way too powerful. Once again, I mentioned essential oils. Put them in a plastic container and see what happens. Yes, it will eat through the plastic. All right. So, also as an aromatherapist, I have used essential oils now for over 15 years and used them on my body. And I definitely push the limits. We all do. It's like, oh, how bad can it be? Right. So, I will admit, I have put essential oils directly on my skin. And um, after a period of doing that for a couple weeks, I started to get a major rash and developed a huge reaction to it. Frankincense is one of them that I overused and abused for a couple weeks. I really wanted to get some quick results from it, and I wondered, well, just how badly can it be, right? And when you put stuff on your warts, we know that the warts get sore and before they get better, right? So that was my theory a little bit. But I really should have paid attention to my training and everything that I learned, that you don't apply it to your skin directly. Using too many oils, your body can actually start to become allergic to it. Allergic is a good way to say it, intolerant, irritant to it. It's like even bee stings, right? Somebody who's allergic to bee stings, the first time they got stung by a bee, they may have had a localized reaction where something swelled up. Second time they got stung, the reaction was bigger, and then maybe even the anaphylactic shock starts to kick in. Third time, they better be carrying their own EpiPen with them, or you better get them to a hospital faster than you know what, right? We've all heard that with bee stings, that people who are allergic to them, each time they're exposed, the reaction gets bigger and bigger. Same with like the concept with an essential oil, using it neat and putting it on your body. At first, you may not have a lot of reaction to it. And then a little reaction starts to creep in, and then your body gets less and less tolerant to where it's a huge reaction. And then your body can't tolerate it at all. Once somebody who is allergic to bee stings gets to that point where their reaction is that big, they can't tolerate it. They run, they scream, they're scared of the bees because they know that the next time they get bit, it's probably going to be scary. Anyways, essential oils, using them neat on your body or using them too often. You should rotate your essential oils. So if you are going to choose to use them, rotate them. So if you're using something from the camphor family, maybe you're using peppermint. Use peppermint for 3 to 6 weeks at the most, and then move on to some rosemary for 3 to 6 weeks at the most. And you can move into camphor or, goodness, the second that I'm on a live video, all these names. But if you know your camphor family, rotate them. I know sometimes we like to do a blend, and if you're doing the blend and it's heavily diluted, then you can probably use them longer than 6 weeks. I have putting them in a diffuser. However, I do want to say with diffusers, because it is aroma, it's getting up in our sinuses, even diffusers, you should not use the same scents for a long period of time, like 365 days of the year. If you're using the same exact scent in your diffuser, then you could be starting to internally up in the olfactory system up there in those delicate mucous membranes, or even deep down into the respiratory, starting to get irritated and intolerant and allergy to it, okay? So rule number 1, do not put it directly on your skin. Oh, wait, no, number 1 honestly was do not ingest it. Don't ingest it unless you're baking cookies and you have a food grain. Rule number 2, don't put it on your skin directly. Always dilute it with a carrier oil. That's the word I was looking for earlier, carrier oil. Number 3, rotate them. Try not to use the same one all the time. Tea tree is another one, rotating it in with a little bit of the rosemary and peppermint and such like that. Within the family, if you really know a lot about essential oils, so if you are out there and you have an essential oil business, I would hope that you have the know-how to know that there's families of essential oils, and then within the families, that's where you have the different oils, the different plants. So within those families, like the camphor family, the respiratory family, rotate which ones you're using and take a break every now and then. Even though if it's your favorite, you got to take a break from it. And if you run an essential oil business, then I'm assuming you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Because you know how to safely use essential oils. And yeah, maybe there's a little bit of sarcasm in it because in my 15 plus years, what's interesting is when I first learned about aromatherapy 15 years ago, I could barely get people to consider it. Nowadays, it's everywhere, and I have backed off. I've pulled that leash back in. I've backed off on using it. I am more into using the whole herbs. So a lot of people these days are on like the Whole30 diet where you eat whole foods instead of processed foods, right? Right? You understand the concept of eating whole foods. You understand the concept of eating an orange versus drinking orange juice, right? Let's even look at that. An orange has, when you eat an orange, you're getting the water. Oranges have water in them, right? You're getting water, fiber, sweetness, that natural sweetness. The smell, you can smell, which is affecting your olfactory system, and it's amazing. And you're getting lots of vitamin C, potassium, other nutrients, trace minerals, you name it. From that orange, you're getting all those benefits, and it's a whole food. It's not processed. Orange juice can still have a lot of benefits, especially if it's fresh squeezed. But once we turn it into juice, it's processed. Even if you juiced it on your own, you're sticking it through a machine or twisting it on top of something. You're going through a process to create the juice. So it's processed. You're not eating it straight from the peel. It has, without the fiber, it has a higher sugar content because you're just extracting the juice. It does still have the water. If it's fresh squeezed, it's still going to probably have the water, the potassium, and the vitamin C. If you're buying store-bought orange juice, then you know that it's possibly been pasteurized to help it last longer, make sure there's no bacteria, and it's safer to consume. So once it's been pasteurized, it's lost some of its vitamin C and its potassium and its benefits. And it's definitely doesn't look like an orange anymore, right? You bought it in a container, you can shake it up and hear the liquid in it. Okay, so we know the difference between a whole food orange and orange juice. Okay, so now essential oils. To get the essential oil of the orange, you are extracting the oil from the peel. Unless maybe you have a hydrosol, they might be extracting it from the whole orange or other elements of the orange. But most orange essential oils is going to be from the peel, not even the fiber inside or the vitamin C and the potassium. Okay, see what I'm getting at here? So an essential oil of orange is typically, because it's aromatherapy, is typically captured through a distillation process and an extraction process that you can smell the beautiful smell of the orange, which works with the olfactory system, as we talked, helps with your emotions, your heart rate, all those other things that I listed whenever I read it. Skip back. You want to know that whole list. At any rate, it's the aroma that they're capturing from the peel and putting it in oil, essential oil. Now, a little bit of a nutrition lesson for you. Vitamin C is water soluble. Most of us know that it's water soluble because we joke around that when you take a lot of vitamin C, you just piss it right back out, right? You can even see it. It'll make sometimes your pee really bright colors whenever you take water soluble vitamins, right? Yes, you see that. It's water soluble. It's going right through your body. Ooh, more people have joined in. Hi, everybody. So vitamin C is water soluble. So is potassium and minerals. So obviously in the essential oil, because water soluble vitamins don't exist in oil. Okay, so the essential oil is void of those benefits. We can safely say that orange essential oil is not a significant source of vitamin C, potassium, and other minerals and vitamins that are in the orange, not even the water. You can't have it for hydration. So to claim that orange essential oil has, or even lemon essential oil, let's go with the whole citrus family, has vitamin C in it, and they suggest putting it in your water so you can get vitamin C from lemon or orange essential oil, is downright impossible. Google it, research it on your own. Yeah, if you find otherwise, let me know. But through my training and education, and even what I know about nutrients and water soluble nutrients versus oil, like vitamin D and E, those are your oil supplements, your oil soluble supplements. Okay, so Really, truly, the only reason that we would want to use orange essential oil is for the aromatherapy and treating the body through the olfactory system and the brain, and then it's going to distribute it to the part of your body that needs it. So there's my take on essential oils and 15 plus years of using them, experimenting with them, researching them deeper, my original training, my own experience of developing a rash and an intolerance to it. Nowadays, if I even just touch frankincense, even just a little bit, I get a rash. I look like I was touched by poison ivy. That's what the rash looks like. So it's a contact dermatitis that shows up. It's blistery and itchy and red and very irritated. So if you've ever had a rash like that from using essential oils, that's exactly what's going on. Your body has told you that's enough. Don't use it anymore. Stop doing what you're doing. And I don't want that essential oil near me again. Please, please, please be careful. One thing that I love about essential oils is that they are available to everybody. One thing I dislike about essential oils is that they are available to everybody now. I believe that they can be good for everybody as long as you know what you are doing, right? Technically, everybody is able to get a driver's license, right? But in order to get that driver's license, you have to know how to drive. You have to know what the dots in the road are, what the stop sign is, how the stoplights work, right? You know what? So, I mean, if everybody is allowed to drive a car eventually, maybe if you're blind or some handicaps, I know there's always going to be that person out there that's going to point that out to me. But you get what I'm saying, right? If the majority of us are able to get a driver's license and we have to take tests and be educated on it and so many hours of driving, then, essential oils should be the same, okay? So it is, yes, available to everybody, but I think you should do your research and be very, very careful. I also created a whole new book. It's 28 pages of how to take care of your skin kind of holistically with herbs and flowers and roots and oils. Like oils, when I'm talking about oils, I'm talking about like coconut oil, olive oil, those base oils, not essential oils, not aromatherapy oils, but the base oils. So my book is 28 pages on how to use those kind of ingredients. So using the whole ingredient. So back to the Whole30. If you've heard about the Whole30 diet and you've tried it where you were eating whole foods, you were shopping the outer perimeter of the grocery store and only buying like the protein and the fruits and vegetables, and you're doing the Whole30 diet with no processed foods. Okay, so same concept here, only I'm using herbs, whole herbs. So you can actually buy lavender flowers. They're really tiny once they harvest the flowers, but you can buy the whole lavender flower or the whole calendula flower. Calendula is a flower that's really good in lotions and creams and stuff to calm down your skin. You can actually get the calendula flower. Now, my book tells you how you can use these and get the benefits from them, because if you're using the whole lavender flower or the whole calendula flower and infusing it in some water or an oil, then you are getting the whole benefits from it. Whenever you grind it up and put it on your face like a mask, you're getting the whole benefits. You're not just getting an extraction of the lavender that is the scent, right? You're using the whole lavender flower, and my book will kind of guide you through or explain why you want to use the whole lavender flower versus getting the essential oil. It's going to be safer for your body because it's not as diluted. It's not as concentrated because you're using the whole flower, right? So like my analogy of the orange, whenever you take the orange and you create juice out of it, the sugar content goes up because you're removing the fiber and the other elements of it, right? Okay, so when you're using the whole flower, you're getting all the other amazing benefits of lavender from the whole flower or the calendula flower or rose hips. So my book, I am releasing it on Friday. If you would like to get a coupon code to get it for half off, then email me and ask me what the coupon code is. Yes, I'm going to make you work for this coupon code. Yes, I am. Email me, reneestahl108@gmail.com. So again, that's Renee, Renee, Stahl, Stahl, 108@gmail.com. If you are watching this on Facebook Live, though, you can direct message me through Facebook if you want, or log into your Facebook if you're listening to this on a podcast and direct message me through Facebook. But if you're listening to this podcast with any other avenues, then just email me and I will give you a discount code to purchase my book. It's beautifully illustrated. I spent a lot of time on it. I have a lot of pride in it. It's an ebook, so you will have it on your computer or your phone. Anywhere you go, you'll have it with you. If you want a printed version, let me know. We can figure out how to print some, and I'll get that to you, or I can send you a higher resolution version of it that you can print on your own. But obviously, the ebook version is going to be a little bit lower resolution, so it's easy to download and share with you all. So I'm super excited about it. I'm working hard on it. And yeah, email me or direct message me if you want to get that discount code. Or just go buy it. I'd appreciate it anyway. It's the best way you can support me. I'm a very, very, very small business. I am me and my dog Mojo. Yeah, so if you want to support us and you've been listening to this podcast for a while, I'd really appreciate your purchase and your support. All right, I am going to leave this at this. If you have any questions, please let me know. And yeah, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to leave this podcast with, from the peace, love, and abundance in me to peace, love, and abundance in each of you. Namaste.